Good morning everybody. Today I'm at the Malvern Hills and I'm going to try and get a sunrise shot. It's around about 7:20. I think the sun rises around about 8 to 8:30. In fact, I should really know exactly when it comes up. Sunrise is at 8:17 and it's 7:20 now, so I've got 1 hour to wait. There is a lot of cloud on the horizon to the east, and there is some cloud coming through with a really strong westerly wind, but we'll see what happens. Now, one of the main things with landscape photography is to know the location you're at. If you're really close to the equator, the sun goes straight up, or pretty much straight up. And this is why your blue hour and your golden hour are a lot shorter. And I know it says hour in the name, but sometimes it only lasts 5 to 10 minutes. And this is why it's so important to location scout and to find out about the location that you're at. Because if you just turn up to a location, you could be lucky and you could get a really nice shot, but chances are you'll be rushing or you'll be waiting for a long time. So really think about the location you're at, really plan the shot that you're going to take. Although in saying that, there is a beauty in sometimes absolutely winging it, rocking up to a location and taking a shot and getting a fantastic one. I've done that a couple of times, but it happens less than you'd think. And there's been many times where I've turned up to a location a bit late. I've not got to the location in time and missed the light completely. So planning the shot is really important to start getting those really nice looking landscape shots. Now, there is meant to be a front coming through a little bit later on today. So that's basically a band of rain, obviously coming from lots of cloud. That cloud has started to drift in already, and I'm hoping I get some sun come through, but I may have jinxed it a little bit earlier on. So when you're out doing a landscape shoot, never kind of say that you're not satisfied with the conditions you've got, because they could change really quickly. And that's exactly what's happening now. There's still a gap, but I'm not so sure I'm going to get any kind of sunlight coming through, because this cloud is racing through and it's becoming more and more overcast. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to shoot this. Probably going to go with one shot really wide, and then I'll probably do another shot a little bit closer in. I've got the 15mm on, and the beacon in the distance looks tiny in the frame. So I don't want to do that. That's my main subject. I want to make that prominent. So I'm going to go narrower, or I'm going to go longer on the focal length. The light's not looking that good anymore, whereas before it was looking really good. Still, fingers crossed for a tiny bit of sunlight breaking through. Now this is where shooting with zooms would be much better. I've got primes with me today, and it would be much better to have a 24 to 70. Then I'd be able to choose the exact focal length. I have got the 85, the 35, and what else have I got? I think I've got the 14 as well. I've also got my RX10, which I actually love shooting with. And depending on what happens over to where the sun is, we'll see what I get with that. Because Breadon Hill over there, there's some clouds forming on the top of that. And that looks really cool. But again, I'm just hoping this front hasn't come in. Whoo! I'm just hoping the front hasn't come in early. So it's getting pretty breezy already. Now, let's see what it's like with 35mm. Probably should have turned the camera off first, but hey ho. That peak in the distance is so much more prominent in the frame. And I've still got this winding path coming in as well, so that looks so much better. Sometimes when you are just waiting for the light to happen or waiting for the conditions to change, it's worth just having a look around you just to see what else you can photograph. For instance, there's a nice tree behind the camera there, which looks fantastic, and the light is starting to catch the bottom of the clouds in certain places. So I'm going to grab a shot of that. I've got the 35mm on, and it should look all right. Probably going to have to open the aperture up if I'm shooting handheld. Timer's on. That looks all right. And that's the one thing with landscape photography, is just keeping an eye out on what's going on around you. Now the clouds have moved out away again, and I'm not sure if you can see behind me, they're starting to catch the clouds. So that's the other thing. If you do get distracted by lots of other stuff, make sure you keep an eye on what's going on with the main subject that you're photographing. The sun looks like it could be coming out any minute now, so I'm going to get set back up. So I'm going for a very simple composition. I've got this path leading all the way through. Unfortunately, the farmers put these really ugly yellow posts following this path, but I'm hoping that's not too distracting. Otherwise, that's going to be a lot of Photoshop to get rid of them all. But I'm still not hopeful about this light. It just keeps teasing time and time again. Oh, 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 come on. You know you want to. Actually, I'm going to break out the RX as well, because that sun is just about to poke out. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Very nice. So glad I came out this morning. Halfway through, I thought it was all going to go to pot, but those clouds have cleared again. So the sun is almost poking out. Got these clouds coming through that are catching the light, and I'm hoping those clouds above my subject over there, I'm hoping they catch the light as well. So we'll see. It's getting really cold. Come on, you can do it. Come on, don't block the light again. So close. Really is a waiting game this morning. Come on, come on. We're almost there. Now, let's have a look, see what's going on here. And that's what I mean about getting distracted. Getting distracted by what's going on over there and not looking at what's going on over here. Come on, come out. It's really teasing. It's just creeping along the top of those clouds. Because of what I was saying about being really far away from the equator, the sun is coming up at such an angle that it's kind of touching the tops of the clouds, but it's not breaking out completely. So my landscape's not really being lit by the sun yet. So you can see with that photo, the clouds have built up and covered the sun again. So I may well have jinxed it yet again. Come on, come on, come on. That's it, that's it. There we go. Right, let's move. Yeah, that's it, you get out of the shot, and then we leave one cow there in the corner. It's just not doing what I want it to do, exactly. Let's try vertical. Don't do that. Morning. One of those will do. Yes, there we go. This is where you've got to really keep an eye on what you're photographing, and once the light hits that land, you get a photograph of it, because it can come and go so quickly. This is the really fun thing, but also the most frustrating thing about landscape photography, when that light just comes and goes, or it teases and it's not quite right. Now I've got that shot that I wanted, the light finally came out, and it does look really nice. What I then like to do, if the light is still good, is to grab something like the RX and then pick out different things from that landscape. So for instance, on the top of the peak, there's a zigzaggy track going up. Now, if I zoom in on that, let's see what we can get. Just a close-up of the peak in this light. Looks really good. And that's one thing with this focal range, you can get so much. So say if you've got something like the A7 III or the A7 IV, something like the 100-400 Sigma or the Sony lens is fantastic because you've got that extra reach. You can start picking things out of the landscape. Oh, you f***. Note to self, don't go near that fence because it's electric. And I just got a jolt of adrenaline and quite a few volts. Ow. Thing is, when I'm in locations like this and it's time to go or it's time to pack up or I need to do other things in the day, never really want to leave because it is fantastic and it's great being out in the countryside. Now, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, click the like button and leave a comment below. I'm making more on location videos because, like I say on my channel, you just got to get out there and do it. And so I thought I'd lead by example.